my honeys. This video, I'm gonna let you know right now, for those of you who are drawn to watch this video, trigger warning. This is probably gonna be very triggering to you. I feel like I have to explain the purpose of this video, the purpose of me telling this part of my story. It's not to make anyone feel bad. It's not to call anyone out. It is not to get attention. It is strictly to reach out to those who have experienced something similar and to let you know you're not alone. And I don't know, somehow I feel like sharing this piece of my story might help some of you. One thing I will say, if you're getting through this video, if you're watching the video and in the middle of my story, let's say you get really triggered and you feel like you can't watch it anymore, click off. Click off. Don't watch this video and force yourself to try and receive the message, okay? Watch this video when you are open to receiving the information that's gonna come out. Be open-minded when listening to my story. This is only a piece of my story. I'm not gonna be saying any names. I will refer to him as the fool. Used to be my stepdad, but okay, let's jump into the story. Part of the trauma that I just recently healed was from that fool. This was a man who was supposed to be like a father to me. He was supposed to protect me. I was supposed to be safe with him. It took 13 or 14 years to expose him for the predator he actually was. He's always been. And it sucks how it had to happen, but you know, it is what it is. It happened. And he hasn't been in the family in a long time because of that. We first met that fool. He was working on our house, and I was about 10, 11 years old. My parents got a divorce, and you know, my mom was raising us, all three of us, by herself. She had a job, she was trying to go to college at the same time, and all that stuff. She met that fool, and he was very charming, knew how to say the right things. As a child, I didn't, like, every once in a while when certain things would happen, I knew something was wrong, but at the beginning I didn't. He loved playing with us, you know. He was a very playful person. He was like a big kid himself, you know, so we grew attached to him. The only person that really saw through it was my sister. She knew something was wrong with him the minute she met him. One thing that was the biggest sign, he was a porn addict. He was like obsessed with it, constantly, always watching it, you know, throughout the day. At certain, you know, he'd go disappear into the bedroom and go on the computer and just watch porn, and you could hear him whispering things like he was talking to him. And there was one night I had gotten out of bed, and we had some cracks at the bottom of our door so I could see into the living room, and I was like, man, it's so quiet. Did everybody go to bed? They left the lights on. So I went to go and look at the bottom of the crack. I didn't want to get in trouble for being awake. And yeah, it was quiet, but the TV was muted, and well, I'm pretty sure you know what was on and what was going on and what I had to witness. Yeah. He was making himself feel really good, let me just put it that way. So that's pretty much the first big signs that something was wrong. As I got older, I think other things started popping up. When he would play fight with us, with me and my brother it was different, but with me, when he'd play fight with me, after a while I started noticing a pattern. He kept, like, when he'd play fight and stuff, he'd get me down, like in the laying down position, but on my stomach. And then there'd be times where I would be like not flat, but like bent over, and sometimes he'd be brushing himself up against me. That part, his tools, yeah, wasn't comfortable at all. Did not like that. And I would, try to make him get off, and like, dude, I don't know if you realize you're doing that. I was a kid, I was naive. He knew what he was doing. Further down the road, it got worse, it seemed, because by that time I was a teenager. Of course, I grew into my body. Sorry, just recalling it. Yuck. He always had his phone pointed towards me with the camera, especially when Mom wasn't around. She'd be up sleeping in the room, and I'd wake up, he'd be downstairs watching TV or whatever, and I'd go down and watch TV with him, or I'd fix myself some breakfast. But he always had that camera pointing at me like he was recording or taking pictures, especially when I yawned. He loved when I yawned, and he would always try to promote it. Okay, I understand why he liked it. Don't fill in the blanks, I know. And then when I'd walk up the stairs to go take a bath, or just walk up the stairs in general, I'd hear him whispering, suck my, Actually, I need to take you a little bit further back, because I forgot about one other incident. There was an incident, and I did tell my mom about it, where he had come back home from offshore, because he was, he worked on rigs and stuff, and I was telling him goodnight, and he hugged me, but his hand cupped my butt. And not in a way of, oh, I'm tired. No, it was intentional. You could feel it. It freaked me out. And so I told my mom. And of course, he talked his way out of it. He even put his hand on the Bible and swore on the Bible he didn't mean to do it. He was tired from working offshore. Yeah. Yeah, just little things like that. Huge signs. And she didn't see that in him, and I don't blame her. I have no anger towards my mother, because she had never encountered a man like this. She didn't know. She dealt with one thing with my dad, and then this fool was a whole nother being. She's never dealt with a predator type person like that looked at children that way. Does that make sense? That's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes I don't explain myself very well, so just have patience. I'm trying to get it out. To fast forward, okay, after I moved out, just little things like that. I tried telling her about a few things, but he always talked his way out of it. And she didn't want to believe it. She couldn't see that in him. And the way I was doing when I was a teenager, I was acting out pretty bad. So it was hard for her to believe one or the other. You know what I'm saying? You had one acting out and one being accused of the stuff he actually was doing. So I thought I was going nuts. I thought I was just misperceiving it, because a lot of times I would misperceive things. Yeah, he did a number on me and my mom. He certainly did, because not on top of all of this, he was lying about other stuff too, especially when it came to his jobs, why he kept losing them and stuff. Listen, he was getting slapped by God left and right, because God knew what was in his heart. And God was trying to show my mom, show us who he was, but we just couldn't see it. So it took something dramatic to happen. After I got married, I started drinking pretty heavily. I'd be able to down a fifth in one night. A fifth of Bacardi, a fifth of rum, whatever I could get my hands on. I did a lot of stupid things whenever I was drunk. I'll admit that. I was not me when I was drinking. I was like a demon. I was a completely different person. I was somebody I did not recognize. That was not who I was. It's not who I am. And it took me a while to break free of that alcohol, but I did it. And I'm 8 years sober from it. So Ain't never touched it. Every time I get a whiff of it, it makes me sick to my stomach. Can't do it. Won't do it. It literally almost destroyed me and my life and the ones that I loved. That I love. During those drinking days when it got really bad with me, he saw his opportunity. And I'm out of it. I'm out of it. I'm drunk. I don't care. Wherever I can get alcohol, whatever I gotta do. I wanted the alcohol. When you're that deep in drinking, you don't care the consequences. You want that drink. You get the physical, you get the shakes, you get the pains, you get the nausea. Yeah. You will do stupid things to get that drink. And I did. But everything had a reason for it. There was one day I had drove 45 minutes from where I lived to go visit my mom. I had already been drinking. And I'm ashamed to say I only had one child at the time, but I had him with me. Sorry, I guess I'm still beating myself up for the stupid things that I did when I was drinking. My oldest did not need to witness all of that, but he did. And he was very young, so he might not remember most of it, but still. Anyway, they saw it. My mom saw it. That fool saw it. They were not going to let me drive back, and I'm very thankful for that. However, my mom took my son and my stepdad at the time took me in his car. We stopped at a gas station. He got me a beer because I managed to talk him into it. There was a point where he had touched my leg, and I'm out of it. I'm drunk. I don't care. He gave me alcohol, so I'll pay him back however he wanted. And I did, and I tell you that found a side road and we pulled off, and well, you know what comes after. And then we made our way back to the house. And when I was sober the next day and realized what I did, it was horrible. I was so disgusted with myself. I couldn't look at myself. I wanted to die. There was so much wrong that came into play when I did that, when I allowed that to happen. But as I stated, I was drunk out of my mind. Blackout kind of drunk. That's the type of drunk I was. A blackout. I would drink until I'd black out. And then I'd do stupid things that I wouldn't remember. And to hear it, when you come to, things that you did, you don't even know you did it. You don't even remember doing it. That's horrible. That is horrible. Just thinking back on it, it's like, ugh, I cannot believe. But like I said, everything happened the way it was supposed to happen, exactly as it happened. Because look what it exposed. That fool has been after me. And technically, I think he was after my sister too for pretty much the whole time he was with us. 13 to 14 years. He had just been waiting for his moment. Just a little add-in, something I forgot to mention. When I realized the next day when I was sober what I had done, he wanted to keep going. He wanted to keep doing that. And I kept telling him, no, I don't want to. And he tried blackmailing me. He said he was going to tell my mom, he was going to tell everybody, all that stuff. So I looked at him and I said, do your worst. Go for it. You're not going to sit there and blackmail me like that. You ain't got to take it to that damn extreme, you know. Don't sit there trying to blackmail me. But then, you know, being the drunk that I was, I ended up talking a little bit more, and of course, we worked it out. I kept doing it for the alcohol. He would provide alcohol while I let him do what he wanted. But eventually that wound up stopping. Oh, but not before he put me through a little bit more hell. Oh no, Sha. I forgot this part too. So another little add-on. After a little while of doing it, I kept feeling so horrible about it. Okay? And then I kept telling him, no, that's it. You do what you gotta do. I don't care anymore. I don't want to keep doing this with you. And after that, he became like a stalker. like stalker type. He would drive by the house. He would stop by the house without even telling me and drop things off for me and then text me and let me know it was there even after I told him not to come by the house. And then he would text me all the time and would just get really nasty if I didn't tell him what he wanted to hear, if I didn't, you know, indulge him in any type of way, water his ego in any type of way. He would just text the nastiest things. Yeah. Wasn't used to being stalked. Yeah. Creepy. I also feel like I need to add this in. This next thing that I'm going to be talking about is probably going to be a major trigger for some of you, so just be aware. This next thing I'm fixing to talk about, it's pretty sensitive. So, fair warning. I tried killing myself. I do still have the lovely scars on my wrists. I had down to 5th, and then there was other stuff that was going on in my life, and everything was just falling apart. So I said, screw it, I'm done with this. I'm tired of playing these stupid games, and I tried killing myself. I had my that day, my oldest son had went to his grandma's to spend the night, and my youngest son was home with me while my husband was at work. And I called him just before I did all that so that somebody could be home with the baby. And that's what saved my life. He got home right after I called him with cops, with ambulances, and wound up saving my life. And that's when everything was exposed. The way that it wound up coming out was, I think it was like the next day. I think my mom was watching the kids. That fool had offered him something, my husband something, and he said, I don't want anything from you. That right there, when my mom heard that, she knew basically what had happened. And she talked to him about it, everything came out, and that's when she kicked him out. The basics of my story, you know, is to recognize the red flags, you know, and if you've been through it, you're not alone. There was a point in time where my mom had went on the computer on one of his thumb drives and had found pictures that he had taken of my sister and her friend in their bikinis, and he had them saved, a bunch of pictures. She asked him about it. I don't remember what his excuse was, but of course he talked his way out of that one. It took for me to sleep with him for my mom to finally see that everything that's been getting shown over the years, she wasn't crazy. She couldn't see. She never encountered something like that before. She got rid of him, and she's been doing good ever since. He was a bum, he couldn't keep a job. You know, he'd lie about everything. Everything. This is a man who would talk about God and all this stuff, but then go close himself off from the room to go jerk off to some porn. That's not very godly. You think God likes that? You think God's okay with that? God is against sexual fornication, and that's all porn is. Okay? Maybe at one point it was educational to help you with your love life if you needed to spice it up, but nowadays, that's not what it's used for. It just, that's the devil right there, honey. That's the devil. There ain't no love in porn whatsoever. It's sexual fornication. Straight up. There ain't no gray area in that. I'm sorry. But, yeah, he was one of those. For a long time, I couldn't understand why I was always doubting my intuition, always questioning myself, always doubting myself, couldn't make decisions very easily. Like, I knew I should be able to. And then it finally hit me. couple of weeks ago, I was doing a meditation. And now, mind you, I haven't thought of this fool in years. I went and meditated one night, and I was watching one of Healing and Beyond's meditation videos to connect with to spirit, to God. And I'm trying to connect with spirit, and next thing you know, in the meditation, that fool shows up. Like, what is going on? And then in the meditation, he asked me to forgive him. He knew what he did, and he's sorry he put us through that, and he wanted me to forgive him. I can't tell you 100% whether I forgive him or not, because I want to forgive him. I do, and I think I've forgiven him for the most part, but there's still some anger that's lingering around that situation, and I don't know why. Sometimes it's hard for me to let it go. It happened, it's done, it's over with. Maybe it's just because of the residual effects of it, you know. I don't know. But when that happened, automatically the first thought that came into mind was, did he die? Because normally when I do meditations and someone like that randomly comes into my meditation and starts talking to me, they're not alive. So I don't know. We haven't talked to that fool. We don't know anything about him. Quite frankly, he could stay where he's at if he's still alive. But for some reason, I don't know, I get this sense that he might be dead. I didn't ask for him to die, you know, but if he kept, you know, following the father lies, he kept doing wrong, maybe he was a predator to somebody else again, didn't learn his lesson, and, you know, I don't know. God's telling me to just don't even worry about it. That part of my life is over. I'm having to pick up the pieces from it right now. And the whole point, like I said, of telling you this story, to tell you what happened to me, what type of abuse I endured. That type of abuse, it's a mental thing. It's a mental thing. You know something's wrong, but you can't explain it, and they keep saying it's something else, even though you know something's wrong. The signs are there, you know. Don't ignore them. Whoever's out there watching this video, if you have a similar story, someone made you feel crazy, made you completely doubt yourself, you lost who you was, I'm gonna tell you now, you're gonna get back to who you are. You gotta peel back the layers. You're not alone. There's more of us out there than you think. You're not alone, and we're here with you, showing you love. Hope y'all got something out of this part of my story. I'm here, and I'm doing so good. You know, me and my husband, we're still married. Boy, we've been through our trials and tribulations. We have been tested. 15 years, honey. 15 years, and we're still going strong. Our bond builds stronger all the time. I'm a thorn in his butt cheek, he's a thorn in my butt cheek, but that comes with the territory, you know what I'm saying? But I tell you, like, our relationship has gotten so much better over the years, you know, with everything, in spite of everything that I did during my drinking days. Boy, I put him to the test big time, and you know what? That man is so strong, he is so patient, and you know that man loves me, because ain't nobody else stuck around. He's the only one that stuck around, and the only one that took me back. The only one who consistently does for me and my kids, our kids. We got 3 babies. 3, well, not babies, you know, but 1 baby, and 2 of them are, you know, the kids. He's a great father, a great husband. Oh, he's a magnificent husband to put up with me, because for a while I was looking at him through my wounds. I kept seeing that fool as him. And he had to sit there and take it and take it. And he didn't have to, but he chose to, because he knew that I wasn't trying to hurt him. I thought he was trying to hurt me. And then after all of this, I finally realized he was not the one hurting me. It was who hurt me back then. The repercussions, the aftermath of it, that was hurting me. And when I finally realized all of that, our relationship got so much better, because I started calming down. Not to mention, after a while, you know, in order for me to calm down, because my anxiety got so bad, my anxiety and my depression got so bad, I had to get on medication. You know, I'm taking medication to keep my anxiety and depression under control. I don't know if I'm going to have to be on it the rest of my life. If so, oh well. I mean, if not, great. You know, maybe I just need to sift through all this crap and heal myself, and then maybe I can overcome the anxiety and depression. Yeah, it does run in the family, anxiety and depression, but I'm not here to continue the family pattern, honey. I'm here to break it. Let this be inspiration to you guys. Do not follow the family patterns, especially if there's abuse. And let me tell you, on both sides, my mom's and my dad's side, there's a long line of abuse in many different forms. Verbal, mental, emotional, physical, sexual, spiritual, all of it. It's time to break the patterns, honey. I don't know who needed to hear that, but do not follow your family patterns if that's what's in your family pattern. Because I'm sorry, but they didn't know how to show love. And now it's time for us to learn how to show proper love. Especially if you got kids. If you got kids, them babies deserve the love that you never got, or that you feel like you never got. Show them the love that you always wanted to be shown as a kid. Don't make them take on what you took on. They don't deserve that. Now I'm saying that because, unfortunately, you know, my two oldest did they did take on the shit that I had, you know, took it on. And I didn't realize that's what I was doing. And now that I realize it, the kids, they feel so much more at ease around me. They want me around. You know, before they were scared. Oh, mommy's gonna fly off the handle again. If, you know, I mean, it was just a lot of yelling. You know, yelling or just, you know, that type of thing. But that don't do no good. That don't do no good. It just puts you under stress, and it makes your kids stress. Your kids don't need to be going through that stress. They need to enjoy being kids. And for those of you who are spending life, and I'm talking to myself too, I'm not just talking to y'all, I'm talking to me too. If you are going through life lately and you are so serious, I understand, listen, you got a divine purpose, you got a mission. That's great and all. Do it. But don't forget to have fun. Just earlier, before I came over here to make this video, I got a burst of energy. I took my little girl in my arms, and I had my two boys right behind me. I said, follow me, we're gonna run. And so we started running down the hall, running around the house, and I'd stop, and I'd be like, you know, and just keep going, and well, she was rolling. You can't tell me a 1-year-old laughing ain't cute. Okay, that'll perk you right up. All right. So she was laughing, my boys were laughing because they thought it was cute, and we were having fun. And even my oldest son, he's like, man, you got a burst of energy. I haven't seen you this hyper in a long time. When you get that burst of energy, honey, take advantage. Go have some fun, please. And also, if you are feeling very tired, or what you might be considering lazy, listen, right now, you're undergoing a huge transformation. You're undergoing a huge shift within you. Your inner world is really changing. It's shifting big time. Okay, so with that happening, it's not just shifting in here, but as you're shifting in here, and once you make the big shift, everything is shifting and will shift in your outer world. Okay, so if you're feeling tired, you're feeling drained, rest. Okay, take the time to rest. If you still got to do stuff, if you have no choice, you have to do it. Don't rush through it. Take your time. It'll be okay. It's not that serious. And don't forget to eat. I'm saying this because I do it, and I've been getting a little bit better at it, but I feel like some of you out there, you're not eating. I know y'all can see it. I'm skinny as hell. Y'all, you know, it's not intentional. It's one of my quirks that I have. I just, my mind races, and I know that there's a lot of stuff that I got to get done, or there's, you know, I'm trying to work on myself, or yeah, it's, oh, look, a cat. Kitty, kitty, so pretty. Have y'all been seeing a lot of cats lately? Me too. Me too. But yeah, don't forget to eat. The more you show yourself love, the more things will flow to you. I've also noticed. I've noticed that since I've been eating better, you know, actually putting food in my stomach. Things are flowing to me easier, especially during this transition. If you got something out of this video, comment down below, let me know. Okay, I'm sorry if y'all were triggered in any way, but I felt like this story needed to be put out there. Somebody needed to hear it, so that you know you're not alone in what you've experienced. Someone else out there has experienced something similar, at least. And we can heal together. All of us, we can heal. We just help each other. We got to help each other heal. Okay? We're all of Jesus' sheep, and he's trying to gather his sheep back through the gate. Okay? The only way we can get through that gate is if we're born of spirit. And we got to release all that holds us down. Anything that holds, that adds weight to our soul, got to let it go. And don't force it. That's one thing I feel like I have to make clear. When you're trying to go through your healing process, do not force it. It's just going to stress you out and put more strain on you. Let it come up as it may. Right now, I feel like there's still something there, and I think it's swirling around the story I just told you. It could be something else. I don't know. As it comes up, it'll be made clear. But there is still some anger left in me and some sadness that's trying to come up. Ooh, I'm wondering. Oh, I just got a hit. New moon. The next new moon. That's going to be significant for us. This new moon coming up. Pay attention to it. See how you feel when the new moon starts approaching. The effects of the moon don't just happen on the day of the new moon or the full moon. The effects of it is like 3 days before the day of and 3 days after. Okay, so you can utilize the moon's energies to help you through your healing, to help you through anything dealing with your emotions, anything dealing with your intuition. That's what the moon represents. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty much all I need to cover in this video. You guys, you're gonna make it. You've already made it. If you're watching this video, guess what? You're alive and you're here and you've done it. You made it. So you're good. You are safe and sound. And you are loved. If nobody tells you that throughout your day, I'm going to tell you right now. I love you. I love you with all my heart. And I hope and pray that you're having a really good day. Continue to be blessed. And I'll talk to y'all later.